What's going on, my fellow collectors? Jim here with another figure review, and tonight let's take a look at the Marvel Select Iron Man 2 Mark 6 armor figure. Now, just like other Marvel Selects, we do get a very big blister and some cardboard. Very big packaging with these things. I'm not too worried about the packaging. I usually open up my figures, and this is obviously an old figure. I know that, and also because all the dust and ding, because it's been sitting up in a local comic book shop for quite a while, it looks like. But we do get the Marvel Select Iron Man Mark 6 armor. You got the Iron Man 2 right here. Figure is nicely displayed behind the blister. Then on the side here, we got a really cool image of Iron Man. And on the back, we got a little bit of a read-up there. And also shows off some of the other Marvel Select Iron Mans you can get. But that is the packaging. Top of it like that, bottom like that. But that is the packaging. Let's go ahead and crack this thing open and take a look. Okay, and here he is all out of the packaging. I have already put his diorama piece together. There is a little bit of assembly needed. Actually, I think it's more connected in the package, but as I pulled it out, it came apart. But it just basically connects this top piece to this bottom piece there, and it snaps in place. And taking a look at this diorama piece, it's done fairly well. What do you think?
Yeah.
I got my daughter here with me, helping me out on the review. But yeah, I think overall it makes a decent little display base. You can tell this is an older figure. What's the date on this? Let's see what the date on this figure is.
Yeah.
Do we have a date anywhere? We gotta have a date somewhere. 2010. 2010. So this is, yeah, this is almost, 6-7 years old. So Marvel Select has come a long way with their figures. So, but I mean, the base, the sculpting is nice. The paint is pretty sloppy though. I mean, you can see all the brush strokes all throughout, the piece, especially on the side. You can even see like where it got like kind of watered down and just dripped a little bit. But I mean, at a distance you really can't tell, and the sculpting is nice enough that up on the shelf you're not really going to be able to notice that, much. But I do like the sculpt work all throughout. It kind of like gives that, armory look. So that is the base, and then taking a closer look at the figure, I think overall the figure turned out pretty good. It's not bad. I mean, once again, this is a much older figure. Very, very heavy looking paint on this piece, but I do like the red, and for the most part, I like the gold color. A little bit too yellowish looking gold, but overall it's not too bad. The one cool thing I like about this is that you can pop this mask portion off. It's a little tricky to do, but you can pop the top of the mask off to reveal the Tony Stark head underneath, which is not that bad. I mean, it's not the best looking head sculpt in the world, and I don't really like how they added, I think it's more or less the suit, because you can kind of see his hair up here. I don't think that's a beard or anything, but it does look a little funny on the sides here with these like black boxes. But it's not too bad. You do have the 2 visible peg holes in the top of the head if you wanted to display it, and there's also 2 peg holes at the top, so you can then port this to give them the open mask look. But at least the option is there. It's not too bad. It gives you some options on how you want to display. I do wish they would have put some paint on the eyes, because the paint, there really is no paint on the eyes. It's basically just that gold. That's pretty much it. I think the arc reactor turned out nice. We do get a little bit of blue paint in there along with the white. And I think the overall sculpt of the suit is pretty good. It looks like it did in Iron Man 2 for the most part. There's a little bit sloppy here and there, but I think overall the sculpt is nice. On the back. And there is 2 peg holes at the bottom, and there is a peg hole on the base, so you can, port the figure in. And they even went ahead and added the little reactors down here too. Now, the only accessories we do get with this is just basically an alternate pair of hands that he comes on the package. It comes with a fist and a repulsor blast hand, and then we get an extra repulsor blast hand for this side and a fist for this side. Now, as far as articulation, it is a little bit on the limiting side. You really only get swivel with the head. You don't really get any up and down, but you do get nice tilt, so that's cool. The shoulder pads, I like how they have them on a little ball hinge. You can kind of swivel these around, so that is neat. You do have kind of like your basic swivel and hinge for the arms, and they'll come out a nice little bit, pretty much horizontal. Very, very loose bicep swivel, very loose on this figure. You get a single bend at the elbow, about 90 degrees. The hands are basically just on a ball. It's kind of strange. I haven't seen that in a long time, but it's basically just on a ball, and as you swap these out, you see the paint gets all messed up, but once the hand's on there, it kind of covers it. But all you get swivel. You don't really get much play on that ball any other way except for swivel. You do have a cut here, so you get swivel in the midsection. You get a little bit of forward and back, a little bit of side to side. The legs, I don't know what's going on with the legs. I see a hinge and I see a ball, but you really only get rotation. So I guess you can kind of bring the leg out, but you kind of have to mess with it to bring the leg out because it kind of swivels at an angle because of the way that it's sculpted. Then you do have once again a really loose thigh swivel, double jointed knees. I got red paint and green paint on both sides, but you get 90 degrees out of those. And then you get just a hinge down at the feet. So that's pretty much it. Now let's measure this figure out. Let's see how tall he stands.
7.
Yep, looks like he's about 7 inches. Yep, 7 inches tall, which is normal for the Marvel Select, Diamond Select toys. Normal scale for them. And as far as some other figures, there's the Marvel Legends Colossus. Gives you a little size comparison. And then the only other Iron Man I have in my collection is the Homecoming Spider-Man. That again is a Marvel Legends, so it gives you a little height comparison. He's definitely out of scale with your Marvel Legends, but for a single piece up on the shelf as an Iron Man figure, it's not too bad. It is a little bit sloppy as far as paint, and the articulation's not as bad. But, I'm glad to have another Marvel Legends in my collection, or another Iron Man in my collection. And with the Marvel Select, we do get the diorama base, so that's cool. So at the end of the day, it's not that bad of a figure, but that's the review. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and we will see you on the next figure review.
Bye.
Take care.